Hello, welcome to episode, I think it's going to be episode 3 of the podcast. Before we begin, I just want to say, if you're into a shorter content, we have that as well. So if you'd like to, please drop a sub. And yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, so in this podcast, we are going to be doing our review of the preseason testing from Bahrain.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, I think, to look at. I mean,
it's obviously, as of right now, the best thing we have to decide who will be world champion.
Yeah. I don't think we'll be perfect yet because
obviously it won't be perfect because the cars will change, but it's the best thing we've got to go off right now.
Okay, that's fair. I remember I've been sat in English lessons with my laptop and I've been like, right, I'm bored. Let's look at the timings and that.
Yeah.
And I saw quite a few events that have occurred. We're going to talk a couple of the teams as well. So let's begin then with the porpoising then.
So the porpoising has got better since Spain, but it's still there, especially on the cars like the Mercedes. There was one video, I'm not sure whether you've seen it, it was less porpoising and more high jumping. It was the whole car was at least, let's say, 3 inches off the ground, and every time it came down, the sparks were massive. That was pretty not great, I don't think.
Yeah, no, the porpoising is going to be a bit of an issue, I think, this year.
Whoever solves the porpoising first, properly solves it so you don't get anything, I think when they do that, they could have a shot at doing pretty well.
Yeah, maybe the title positioning, I think, the porpoising is going to be a bit of an issue. Let's talk very quickly about that little race start we had with a few of the cars.
Which one? The little race start which didn't happen?
The one that did happen, the one we all got away and there was 3 cars. Gasly on pole.
And then Stroll in third.
Yeah, and there was
Guan Yu Zhou in fourth.
I think so.
Perez and
Checo in second. Yeah, that was quite fun. I just want to mention that.
That was... Yeah. It was probably... The starts... there was nothing really too spectacular about it. Pretty similar to all race starts, really, because there's not really much you can expect. But yeah, still good to see. First time seeing lights out.
Yeah.
And then maybe next time we see lights out, there'll be a full grid.
There'll be a whole grid and it'll be overtaking and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, let's move on to the Latifi's brake fire.
Now, reminds me sort of the McLaren overheating brake issues.
Yeah.
As of right now, I'm not sure whether I've just missed something and we know, but why that was caused. Do you know why that was caused?
No, that was...
No, probably something we need to look into then.
Definitely.
Probably could do a tech analysis video on that.
Probably
should.
And
Also on the McLaren.
And the McLaren, yeah.
Overheating brakes. Probably before they solve it, in which case my video will become outdated.
Yep.
So, get on that as soon as possible.
Get on that, lad.
And then, Latifi's brake fire. If it's just a one-off, teams always have something happen. Happen. If it's just a one-off, better have it now in preseason testing and fix it.
Then have it in the race.
Yeah, so they'll hope it's a one-off or that they'll know what the problem is.
Yeah.
However, I don't think we can comment much on why it happened because...
No, you can't really.
We don't know that. Only really the team knows that.
Yeah.
So
maybe even the team don't know, but probably to be fair. But yeah, no, we can't really comment on what occurred there.
But I hope for Williams' sake that it's just a one-off, or they know exactly why it happened and can fix it easily.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to Bottas having that little.
Bottas stopped the session early, trying to do the race start. Yeah. He also got stuck in 4th gear, I think.
Yeah, so there's a few issues in that Alpha.
Yeah, the Alfa Romeo seems as of right now, the most unreliable car.
Yeah.
But it also seems to be pretty fast. Not fast as in, they're going to be fighting for wins or anything, or podiums.
But, it's mid.
I think probably fighting for points nearly every race, I think, is what the speed looks like. However, it does look really unreliable, especially in the hands of Bottas. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe Guan Yu Zhou's driving it in a way which makes it more reliable. Like, obviously,
Possibly.
that's so unlikely for that to actually be the case.
Yeah.
But most of the unreliability seems to be whilst Valtteri Bottas is in the car.
Yeah.
So quite
Maybe it's
unlucky,
the curse
really.
of Bottas.
Yeah.
He seems to have a bit of a curse wherever he goes. Let's talk about Magnuson's return then. I was sim racing. Luckily I was offline because I paused the game, ran downstairs screaming when my watch popped up saying Magnuson was back in F1.
Yeah, that is just
It was amazing.
And obviously the circumstances where it happened wouldn't have been how we would have liked to return to F1.
No, of course not.
But obviously a return to F1 is
crazy.
Yeah. Especially when he probably thought when he left Haas,
That was it.
like 2 years ago now, or a year and a half,
Year and
he
a
thought
half,
that would
yeah.
be it for his
That's it.
F1 career.
But no, it wasn't.
But no, he's back.
He's back.
And he
Think
went
we-
fastest in the second day.
He was fastest, yeah. Although it wasn't, I don't think he ended up fastest.
What?
Oh yeah, because he did end up
Yeah.
fastest, didn't he? Because he had the extra hour, didn't he?
Yeah, they had the extra time. So
'Cause otherwise it would be
he
Gasly.
was fastest. I don't think he got the memo that pretty much all the teams were trying to be quite conservative and not show their pace. I think he was just excited to be back in F1 car.
Back in F1
and
car.
was like hammering it around the track.
Yeah.
So
Do you think he'll be any good this season? I think he will.
well, it depends again how good the Haas is. I kind of feel unfortunate for him that he's like his talent, like especially when he was in his prime, his talent was way better than to be looming around the back of a grid.
Yeah,
in
he used to be
Haas.
McLaren, didn't he, with Jensen
Yeah.
Button. Obviously, Button just outperformed him.
But that was also when McLaren were starting to slowly drop off as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So he's never really been in a position to fight for race wins properly. Like, I mean, his very first race, he got a podium. So he obviously has the talent. But again, being at the back of the grid in the Haas, you've got to feel sorry for him. But he went fastest. Maybe the Haas won't be at the back of the grid. Like, I mean, they're hopeful that they'll be in the midfield. But then saying that, you obviously can't read into the preseason testing times, because then if you're doing it like that, Alfa Romeo and Guan Yu Zhou finished 4th. So
Yeah.
if you're doing that, then you've got to assume that Alfa Romeo are going to be great as well. So
Yeah.
you can't really read into the times too much. However, what I do sometimes read into is the individual sector times.
Yeah.
It's like for Carlos Sainz, like what he did is he had 2 purple sectors, then he backed off,
He backed off.
and then like the individual sector times, because most people don't actually see them. Sometimes teams are less afraid to show their actual pace in the individual sector.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but not always.
Yeah.
But that is a way that could happen.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry about the creaking, by the way.
oh yeah.
If you can hear that, I don't know if you can. Let's talk about Ricciardo. He missed.
Yeah, well, he had coronavirus and he was ill, so there's not really much you can do. I just hope he hasn't missed out on too much learning.
Yeah,
And-
if he's back up the back again
Yeah.
this year, that would be good.
And then, because obviously most drivers won't have had much time to actually learn how to drive these new cars.
Yeah.
But, so I hope he doesn't miss out because of that. And then another subtopic of that is, how do you think Lando Norris is? Obviously this won't affect anything, but how do you think he is after having to do 3 full days in the
He'll be a
Bahrain heat?
Bit tired. I think he'll definitely be.
Yeah.
He'll have be.
Like, obviously that won't affect anything, it's just me thinking right now, oh, poor Lando.
From a racing driver point of view, if you have to, if you're hammering it 3 days in a row, especially in that car and the new
And
car
in Bahrain heat.
and that Bahrain heat as well, he's going to be definitely quite tired. He needs to rest up definitely now. What is it? This weekend that we have our first round, or is it the week after?
Yeah, it's this next weekend.
So yeah, he'll take this week. I'm sure he'll be fine, but he'll be a bit tired. But still he'll be kind of happy because he's now got more testing time than his teammate, which is always a good thing. You always want to be faster than your teammate, so
Because that's who you are compared to.
that's literally the one person you can compare yourself to. So Ricciardo, that's not going to be good for Ricciardo, but nor is it good for McLaren. They want to have that second driver in the team as well, in the car.
Yeah.
Ricciardo, he's not going to have that seat time that you wish he could have had.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, but that is never a good thing. I'm sure Ricciardo's pretty down-eyed, and that will even be able to race in the first round.
Yeah, I think he probably will be able to, because now the isolation time's been cut to just... Like, it doesn't even exist anymore here in the UK.
I don't know what it's like
about
out
other
there,
countries.
but yeah, hopefully he'll be there, though.
He should be there, assuming he's feeling up to it.
Yeah.
And if not, who's McLaren's reserve driver?
I'm not sure. I don't know if there's anyone that quick, but
maybe it could give someone a chance from F2.
Yeah, it could be maybe like...
I'm not sure who their
Dan Tickton or something.
reserve driver is.
Yeah,
yeah.
Maybe Will Stevens, probably.
Who is it?
Will Stevens is on the test. Yeah, but...
Will Stevens?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Or Turvey, Oliver Turvey.
Oh, well. And whoever it is, it will give them a chance.
Will Stevens, probably.
It will give them a chance to come in and show what they can do, which obviously all F2 drivers or wherever they are, Formula E, want to have a chance to do. So, what have we got next in then?
The next thing on the list is Gasly fastest.
I think that's slightly out of date, but he was fastest.
He was fastest, yeah. No,
Yeah,
I wrote these like midway through the second day, but he was fast.
He was fastest in the morning of pre-season testing too.
Yeah.
Or the second day of it. Halfway through the day. And the first session. So, yeah. What can we read into that about AlphaTauri?
I don't really know, to be fair. With the timing, you can't really look at it and get anything really from it, because the teams will be sandbagging and stuff.
Yeah.
Although we can get one thing, and that is Mercedes are probably struggling.
Yeah. Like, I mean, this is probably the biggest thing for me I've got from pre-season testing. Is like, as I've said in some other podcasts before, I think, or maybe even released after this, depending on how...
No, released before, I think. You said about it in...
well, as I've said, I am a bit of a George Russell fan, so I want Mercedes to be doing well.
Yeah.
And then, but from what I've seen so far, it doesn't look great for them. Like, I mean, when you read into what Hamilton's saying, we don't think we'll be fastest to win a race at Bahrain, or we're not fastest now. Which, the way he's saying that, it's not like he's saying, we're not going to win a race this season. He's saying we're not fastest to win a race now, which sort of, to me, makes me think that what he's trying to mean is that he will come later in the season.
Yeah, that Mercedes at the
Mercedes
money.
They'll spend on it, they'll develop it, and it will get a lot faster. So come the end of the season, they will have enough to win a race. Like, that's what I've been reading from what he's been saying. So, I don't know. Maybe he's just saying that. Maybe Mercedes are doing, like, I'm pretty sure last preseason testing,
they were
like in Bahrain, they were awful, I think.
Yeah.
Like, we have had times where in preseason testing they've been hopeless, and they've come and dominated the season.
The only thing is they do seem kind of inconsistent.
Yeah.
When they sandbag, they are consistently at the back. However, when they're not sandbagging, they are like kind of inconsistent.
Also, with the fastest teams like Leclerc and Sainz, and then even Max Verstappen, who was the fastest run of preseason testing, like they're like, so you're fastest. That what they're saying, oh no, I don't think we are, it's probably going to be someone else. Teams aren't showing, it's not reflective. But then at the time they're doing it, like Max Verstappen in his interview, he was smirking like mad. Like, I mean, there's so much more pace in that Red Bull, I feel. Yeah. I think Red Bull could do like a Mercedes 14, 15, 16.
I wouldn't want to say that.
Yeah, like, I mean, I think that's possible. I think Red Bull could come and dominate.
What do you think? Max Verstappen could be Sebastian Vettel again?
Yeah, I think.
I mean, they came close. I mean, think about it. That would repeat itself, wouldn't it, in 2009?
Yeah.
Apart from the fact Max, if Lewis had beat Max in last year, it would have been the exact same if he'd gone along and dominated for a few years.
But I do think that Max Verstappen and Red Bull, their car, I think, like, it's just the smirk from Max Verstappen in that interview. Like, that tells me there's so much more pace left in that Red Bull.
Yeah, no.
Like, I mean, I think there's pace left in the Ferrari and the Mercedes
and
as well. Yeah, if they can sort out their brake issue.
Yeah.
Then I think it will be fine for them. But I think that Red Bull, to me, it seems so quick as of right now. I think, like, I mean, I'm not really a Red Bull supporter.
Yeah.
Like, I'd much rather Mercedes or McLaren or even Ferrari do well. But all I can see happening is them doing what, like, in my predictions, I said that Ferrari would be the fastest team and Mercedes wouldn't be great. Like, Ferrari still look quick.
I can
like,
see
they
Ferrari
still look really
winning,
quick, and they were saying they're confident. But I think the Ferrari is, out of any of the teams, closest to them pushing it out the hardest.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, there's still so much more pace left in all these cars, but I think Ferraris were pushing it harder than any other team.
Okay. No,
So, now my revised preseason prediction
Red Bull
is Red Bull being the fastest team.
I really don't know what to take from what we've had so far. My revised prediction, Red Bull looks decent. I think Ferrari. McLaren, I just don't see them there now. I think McLaren will be up there. They'll probably be
I think McLaren
P2,
will be
P3.
Probably P4 even, I think. I still think the Mercedes will be faster than the McLaren.
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't know. I think Ferrari, honestly, I think...
But, like, it's kind of shocking to me. Like my time in F1, sort of, like, I started properly watching F1 and, like, in, like, 2015.
Oh,
so
right.
the whole time, like, obviously I followed it before, but when I started properly becoming, like, properly watching all the F1 in 2015 or something, all I've ever seen is Mercedes dominance, really.
Okay, I've seen a bit prior.
So coming in to see Mercedes not looking great, like, this is quite a shock to my system, really. And also, with me being a Mercedes fan, George Russell fan, so that translates to me being a Mercedes fan, like, it is quite a shock to me to not see them up there. Like, I was expecting them to really do really well with this redesign, but maybe not.
Yeah, no, I have watched F1 since probably, like, I have watched it since I was tiny. I can remember a time before Mercedes. Oh, back in the day. But, no, I can get your point there. Like, Mercedes just seem, like, immortal.
Yeah.
But, no, I can see Ferrari doing really well this year. I really can.
I mean, that was my original prediction. I still stand by that. I think that would be one of the better predictions. I mean, a lot of people did say that prediction, though, so it wasn't just me. But now I think they'll probably be second best team after Red Bull. Saying that, though, I do think, with what Lewis Hamilton is saying, coming back towards the end of the season and into next season, I think Mercedes will retake the position as the fastest team.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm going to say the fastest team's going to be
obviously
Ferrari.
That's looking very far ahead.
They're going to be fighting Red Bull and McLaren. That's what I'm going to say. And I think Mercedes will be fourth fastest, trying to catch back up. And by the end of the season, we'll have a four-way title fight between 4 teams.
Oh, so you think, like, Mercedes will drop off at the start?
Yeah, they'll be like fourth fastest
but then they'll
team.
come flying back towards the end of the season.
Up. Yeah.
Like maybe even 5 or 6 race wins in a row and the final races.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
That's what I'm going to say. So I'm going to say it's going to be Ferrari, Red Bull, and McLaren, and Mercedes are going to catch up and join that fray. And then into next year, it's going to be those 4. That's crazy. It's probably not going to happen, but I'm hopeful, and I want to see that 4-way title fight. So, watching it be an 8-way title fight, but, probably end up being a 4-way with number 1 drivers.
That would be good.
It would probably be what? Hamilton.
But then, it's a 5-way, really. So, 6-way even. Leclerc and Sainz, Russell and Hamilton,
Norris,
Verstappen and Norris.
Yeah,
that's 6 drivers all in the hunt for a
obviously that
title.
Probably won't happen, but you never know, and I just hope that will happen.
But the one thing I love most about this season, and what I've loved from pre-season testing, is how all the teams go up through such different design routes, and they can still all end up with just like half a second between them.
Yeah, no,
like. That's crazy. That's what I've loved about this.
Yeah, it's like that, almost like
what I
1970s.
hope I'll love about this season. Yeah,
like the 1970s when they were all so different.
Yeah, so close.
Yeah, no, I can take that there.
So, let's have a mini prediction for the actual race in Bahrain now. Let's have a pole position from you.
Pole position, Leclerc.
For me, I'm going to say pole position, Max Verstappen.
Okay.
He's going to pick up where he left off last season-ish.
Yeah.
And then, who do you think is going to win the race?
Race win, I'm going to give it... I'm going to say... Mr. Lando Norris. It's not going to happen. But I'm going to say Mr. Lando
Bias
Norris.
prediction there. For me, I'm going to say the race win's going to go to Carlos Sainz. I think Verstappen's going to get on pole, Carlos Sainz second, and I think the Ferrari over the long-term race trim will be a faster car than the Red Bull, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it will be a Ferrari 2-3 in terms of qualifying.
Yeah.
So with Carlos Sainz being ahead, and I think Ferrari will be able to use that tactics to get themselves the first race win of the season.
Okay.
However, I still think the Red Bull will be the fastest car.
Okay.
So Verstappen on pole for me, Sainz to win the Bahrain, and we'll see whether we're right on Sunday
Yeah.
or Saturday.
Let's talk very quickly around Leclerc. But before we do, can you just take this a minute to subscribe, please? Okay, now you've subscribed. Let's move on to talking about Ferrari. Leclerc and Carlos, of course. I think Carlos is probably the most underrated driver on the grid.
Yeah.
I think Leclerc's kind of overrated. Remember in Monaco when he had that pole and he just binned it? Mm-hmm. I think he's kind of a little bit immature and he's just not ready to be fighting for championships. However, I do think he'll be there because he's a quick driver. So.
Yeah, so what was your prediction again?
So
Leclerc on pole.
I'm going to say Carlos on pole.
Oh, changed it now.
I
Carlos
changed it.
on pole, Norris to win Bahrain.
Yeah.
And then for me, I said Verstappen on pole, Sainz to win at Bahrain. We'll see whether we're right on Sunday, and then we'll obviously get your review of it.
Yeah.
Probably coming out on Tuesday. Next Tuesday, that is.
Yeah.
So.
Also, I'm sorry.
Something
You
else?
keep trying to segue to the end of the podcast, but I have
Yeah.
one thing. I can see in 2025.
2025?
Yeah. Sound like I can see if Red Bull are really fast, I can see them taking Norris.
Can you?
Maybe even earlier if they just kill his contract.
Yeah.
But I can see them taking Norris. Anyway, that was random, but that will take us to the end of the podcast. So please do subscribe to the channel. It's a small channel. We need help for it to grow, and then you guys can do that. So yeah, I think.
And obviously, remember, the more you subscribe, the bigger the channel gets. Obviously, the better the content we'll get for you.
Yeah, and the more reach we get, and the better content. So yeah, all I can say is thank you for watching, and have a nice day.